Right then, so this is the Ryzen 9 7900 CPU. These are the scores at stock settings with 0 changes to the BIOS. For Cinebench R23, the multi-core score was 1416. For single core, it was 115. That is the included points when it comes to the Cinebench R24 score. Now, when it comes to votes, it was at 1 vote. But for temps, the Cinebench R24 temps at idle was 30 with a max of 58. So for Cinebench R23, the multi-core score was 24,559. The single core was 1,950 with the temps for Cinebench R23. The idles are 30 with a max of 47. Now the power draw on this particular CPU is rather low. It's not the X version, it is the basic version. So the idle power draw was 27 watts with a max of 90 watts, and that was all at stock. Now, with the 7900X with PBO enabled, the scores are a little bit higher. Now, when it comes to Cinebench R24, the multi-core score was 1559. The single core was the same, 11.5, and the power draw was 165 watts on Cinebench R24. But the idles for the temps were 30 with a max of 84. Cinebench R23, however, the multi-core score did go up a lot, 28,843, with a single core score at 1,948 points, with a max of, when it comes to the idles, it was 30 Celsius with a max of 86 Celsius, and the power draw on that one was 185 watts. Right then, so what did you think? Now, yeah, it is a 5% decrease in performance when it comes to 7900X, but I did get this at a steal at the time. It was over a £400 CPU. I did get it for £300 on eBay. So I think price to performance, this is a fantastic buy. Now, it does everything I needed to do. It does editing, it does multi-core loads, it's got fast single core performance, over 5.4 gigahertz. That's still insane over the 5900X. Yeah, it's not the faster CPU, and yeah, it's a little bit overkill for gaming. But if you saw from the gameplay, there was no bottleneck when it came to Starfield. So at least it runs good with the games I play. Now, whether that you guys think it's a good buy, that's up to you completely. This is a lot easier to cool. Yeah, doesn't boost as high, but it at stock settings, this thing, you could use a 150 watt TDP CPU, like something from Thermalright, like the Burst Assassin or something like that, and it would keep this under control, which is fantastic for 12 cores and 24 threads. Now, yeah, the AM5 platform, it's an expensive upgrade because you've got to go DDR5 and obviously new motherboard, but I wanted a new upgrade. I wanted the 5900X to be particularly for benchmarking, like doing thermal testing on CPU coolers for you guys. So then I've got a high-end CPU for testing. Now, I overclock this. It's a little overclock. It does boost a little bit higher, but it also does draw more power. Now, if I'm doing a full multi-core scenario with editing and stuff, it does draw a lot more juice. But if I wanted to, I could just get rid of all of that and put the stock settings back on, and then it just consumes 90 watts, which is ridiculous for 12 cores and 24 threads. AMD have definitely really put the efficiency on the new AM5 platform completely over the previous Ryzen chips. So there's definitely an efficiency achievement there. Yeah, it's about 5% less performance than the 5900X, but then I only had it for £300. So I think price to performance, I had it at a fantastic deal. Now, as you saw with gameplay, it runs butterly smooth. I do run it with an overclock, like I said, and of course my system is rather high end. It is a 7900, sorry. 7900, it's got 32 gigs of DDR5, and it's also got an RX 7800 XT graphics card from AMD. So all AMD, and I'm happy with my purchase. So don't forget to subscribe, because I've got the products from Colink en route. They will be here. And I've also got stuff coming from Thermalright and Be Quiet, MSI, AOC. I am trying to get as much product in as much as possible. I've been in talks with a lot of different brands, so make sure you subscribe for that. And as always, this is Richard for WELSHYTECH. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend ahead of you, and goodbye.